We are now live. So, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 8th episode of At Home with the Fishers.
Need to think this out better.
There we go. At Home with the Fish.
Episode 8, and I am sat on a reasonably high chair.
And tonight, our special guest is Prickly Sauce.
But he has got a real first name, and it's Rob. So, yeah. How are you, Robert?
Yeah, I'm great. I'm great, guys. Thank you for inviting me in. It's very comfortable here at home with you guys.
Well, thanks for joining us. So let me just see who's on and just say a few hellos. So we've got Wayne the Woodturner, Andy Pugh, who set an alarm to remind him.
Hi, guys.
Wayne Bigfoot Woodcraft, Wagger.
Hi, Wagger.
Steve Coombs, Dave the Wood Barber, Leona Fay.
Hi, Leona.
T+G Making.
Hi,
Mike
team.
Atkinson.
Yo, bro. Woo! Mikey A.
So I think that's everybody who's in the chat at the minute. So welcome, and I hope you enjoy this episode. So we're delighted to have Prickly Sauce, aka Rob, on the podcast with us. And I've been looking at your website, and you describe yourself as a carpenter, joiner, adventurer, designer, computer and electronic dabbler, printmaker, windsurfer, and bread maker. And you design and create beautiful and interesting objects, creating products that are thought through, aesthetically pleasing, useful, and things that make you smile.
Very eclectic.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah. That sounds very much like the Prickly Sauce that we know. Yeah. I don't think we'll ever forget the backpack that you had on at Makers Central last year with the video. That was just super cool. It really was.
Yeah.
So I think that was the first time that we met you at Makers Central.
Yeah, Robert sort of like he'd been in touch, but it was amazing to feel this appendage on his back, and it was that good that Jimmy DeResta did comment on it a couple of times and how cool it was.
Yeah.
The video backpack, but yeah, that was our first introduction to Rob in the flesh. And we've kept in touch ever since, and Rob's been a great support and follower, and he's sort of like really gone out of his way to help me and us and come up with some ideas. So yeah, he's very geeky, aren't you, Rob? Really, and that's
I'm a geek. Did you say?
Yeah, you're a geek.
Yeah, you're definitely a geek.
But that's obviously one of the highest compliments you can be made this day and age. So
okay, I'll take that one as a compliment.
Yeah,
but yeah, you're right. I kind of do everything. It's interesting, Nicola, hearing you reading out what I've written on the website. Maybe I need to update that a bit now. But it's true that I have interests literally in everything. It doesn't, to me, it's all just about creating and making, and it really doesn't matter. So, the fact I say in there that, I like to make bread. Bread is a creative process as much as maybe doing something with timber or, electronics, which, I dabbled in, but I'm, kind of learning. So it's really a process of just creative designs and using materials, and then trying to learn, if you don't know the tools or how to use them, putting that into action, and then hopefully making the thing that you have in your head. You come up with crazy ideas, and you just kind of want to make these things.
Yeah,
I like baking bread, and I like baking as well, and I think there's something about putting something together from raw ingredients and getting something out at the end of it. It's, even though it's not making something like a wood turned project or a cabinet made out of wood, it's that creative process as well, and it all, to me, it all sits together.
the process is exactly the same. So it is literally using tools and materials and putting those together to make the object or the thing that you want to do. And it's every loaf will be different, or will be different to the people that are making it. They're quite unique to the person.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's not delve too deep, because we might be crossing into the questions we're going to ask you here. So we don't want to be spoiling it too much. So yeah, it's easy to just go off and start talking, but we have the specific questions, and it's a bit like, remember inside the Actors Studio with James Lipton, and he used to have celebrities on the stage, and every week he would ask his guests, everyone, Tom Hanks and Tom Cruise and Will Smith, all these amazing celebrities and actors, these specific questions every week.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So we've got to ask the specific questions, and
these that we have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do.
That's what we're going to do. But just cognizant of the fact that we was off then. We were presumably taken off.
It was organic.
Yeah.
It was organic. So, as we've said, we've got some questions that we'd like to ask everybody who comes on to this segment of Maker Monday. And the first one is, why do you make?
Well, I can't not make. I always have. It really is part of me. So, all the time I'm creating and making, I'm always thinking about different projects, different things to make. Even going, way back. So when I was a really small kid, my mum says that she'd give me and my sister boxes, a whole pile of old boxes to do stuff. My sister would tidy them up and tessellate them all together. And I'd make an absolutely massive mess and end up with a spaceship or a castle or something at the end of it. And that has always been a constant right through my life with whatever I've done, and it's always been about creating in some way or other. I can't get away from it. It is who I am and what I do. Fortunately, I make money out of it, and also I can do the YouTube and projects on that side as well, which doesn't necessarily pay any money, but it gives me a greater outlet to explore the ideas that I have. I'm mad if I couldn't do it.
We've said before, it's to do with how you're wired, and we've said so many times that makers are wired in this way, and people have got to make. It's sort of it's like a driving force that they've got to respond to.
Yeah, it definitely does drive me, and even beyond that, it's now so ingrained that I do it all the time. There was a story a few years ago. So Claire, my wife, and she would say things to me, and I'd like, you never said that. I can't remember you saying that. And we thought I had a problem with my hearing, to the point where I went off to see a specialist. And having worked with power tools for all my life, I wondered whether I'd lost sort of a bit of the top end on my hearing. And maybe I wasn't picking up on stuff. So I told him the story. He checked me out, and then at the end he said, "It's official, you don't listen to your wife." Which she's never let me live down. But what I didn't realize then, and I think I've come to realize, is I spend so much time in my head thinking and designing and thinking through the designs and the things I'm creating. I think part of that is you block out, so you become quite internalized at times, which makes it difficult for my family, because sometimes I'm not there in the room and they might be talking to me, and I'm aware of it. I try to engage as much as I can, but I do get crowded in with my thoughts and things that I'm working on most of the time. And that's in some ways the best place to be.
You go off with the fairies like I do, Rob.
Maybe. Yeah, probably. Wife looks at me and thinks, "Oh, he's off again," thinking. But so much of my process initially is in your head, and even when you get down to designing out or putting things on paper or actually making them. You're still working through problems. And your head is such a fantastic spatial 3D place to be. You don't actually need a computer. I use computers to work 3D models, but you don't actually need that.
Yeah.
Because you can do it in your head. You can have any condition that you want and test out ideas in your head. So it's a super important part of it for me. But yeah, it's official. I don't actually listen. I'll try and keep engaged with you guys tonight.
So another question for you then that sort of is of personal interest to me. Are you an introvert?
Oh yeah, no, totally. Yeah, no, I'm an introvert in the sense, but it's in the sense of, not being shy.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly that manifested itself as a child. But as you grow as an adult, I love people and socialize with them, but you do have the distinct introverts and extroverts, and I'm happiest working by myself in the workshop. I could do that for weeks and weeks and months and not speak to anyone and be anything. I don't need particularly I don't need the input from outside sources, which is the definition of introversion, and that an extrovert has to have others around to give them the energy and feedback that they need to go forward. I don't need that. So no, I'm totally an introvert.
It's interesting.
I think I'm sort of like slap bang in the middle of that, really. I can be as perfectly happy on my own with my thoughts rattling along, but I also love to have friends around and be chatting and thrashing ideas around and backwards and forwards with topics and theories and different ideas. So I think I'm sort of like right in the middle. I think as a child, I was very sensitive as a child and easily upset, but that I wouldn't class that as being introvert, because even as a child I liked to have fun and was chatty. But I think I'm slap bang right in the middle. I can either.
Yeah, as a child, it's different. You're still learning, but I think the true sense comes out when you're an adult. But kind of like Maker Central, which you mentioned, those for me are quite tough. Not that I don't like talking to people, but I'm exhausted by the end of it because I'm used to it, and I notice within half an hour I can't talk because I don't talk much. I'm working by myself, so those muscles aren't being used. It's amazing experience and show and meeting everyone, but absolutely whacked out by the end.
Well, you said you were as well. You were tired, and your voice was going as well, wasn't it? So
yeah, definitely. It will go now. I can feel it going a bit already, and we're only talking 10 minutes.
Well, if you got a drink of water there with your Rob, or tea, or
I do.
You've got a glass of water.
Right. Okay. So keep hydrated and stuff. So
Chris, how do you talk for so long? I had the pleasure of coming and seeing you on Saturday demonstrating, and you were up there for 3 hours on the first one, talking pretty much the whole time. Is this something that comes naturally, or have you just got used to it?
Well, no, it comes naturally, and I enjoy it. But remember how I touched on the fact that the more I talk at a demo, and it's like when I'm doing a YouTube video, I'm describing as much as I can. That's helping my mental imagery. So the more I'm talking and describing what I'm doing right there and then, the pictures evolve in my mind. So it's an aid and a tool as much as engaging. And I know the Axminster demos are free events, which is brilliant, but you have to make sure that the people there get the money's worth, if I can use that metaphor.
Oh, we definitely got our money's worth on Saturday, Chris.
So you have to keep talking, otherwise they're there, what's he doing? Oh, this is pretty boring. And they want to come and be entertained and learn and be inspired and feel comfortable so they can start asking questions. And so, yeah, I enjoy it. It's really hard work, and I can feel myself getting tired. Like I said, just before we came on air, since we've had dinner this evening, I can feel myself beginning to slowly get fatigued. And Nicola said I'm beginning to look a little fatigued now. And I had an afternoon nap yesterday. So, yeah, it takes its toll on me. But, yeah, I love it. I love it. So...
Well, yeah, that showed you were, incredibly engaging, and also what you're saying, that sort of chat back and forth, and I like your style in that. After half an hour, there was just a good chat going between the audience and yourself, and questions, and that, it's really nice. It makes everyone feel that they're part of what you're doing.
Well, that's it. I want everybody there to feel like, we're friends and we can discuss what you want. And I don't mind, people can be asking me, oh yeah, Chris, so you went blind, but what was it like? It doesn't matter. And I say that, ask me whatever you want whilst I'm up here turning. It doesn't have to be, what finish are you going to apply, and how ask me whatever you want. It's cool. It's an open forum, really. So yeah, I want everyone to feel like, we've been friends for years and we can have a good time.
Yeah, that definitely came across. I couldn't do it because I couldn't talk that long.
No, you'd be like,
as you probably noticed, I don't talk on my videos, so it's probably a good reason for that. So,
well, if your voice is drying out and then you're struggling to talk, and like you say, you're an introvert deep down. No, it's fine. It's fine. And what people have to realize is it's your YouTube channel. You make videos the way you want to make videos, and that's what makes the channels unique.
Definitely, and you definitely go down the route that you want. So I did start off talking on videos, and I found it really difficult because it's quite an alien thing to do. When you're talking to a screen and not to people, it's a really odd situation. So I stopped doing them and started putting music on. And I remember that one day this subscriber popped up on my channel called the Blind Woodturner.
Oh yeah.
And I couldn't guess it. And do you remember meeting Maker Central last year? And I came up to you and said, "Why do you watch my videos? There's all there is some funky music and nothing else." And you told me, unfortunately, you Nicola, you have to describe videos that Chris is interested in. I believe, is that right?
Yeah. I think it's got better, hasn't it? Because I think there seem to be more people who are talking on videos now, whether it's because of you or it's just part of their own evolution. But I think some of the people that know of you have maybe done more talking on videos.
See, it's an interesting thing. I think it was Jimmy Dresser on one of his vlogs, because he doesn't talk a great deal, and he mentioned that if you don't talk, you actually open up your videos to a greater audience across the world who don't speak English, which is a brilliant thing. So it's kind of that whole kind of Mr. Bean type thing, from wherever, and I look at where all the subscribers come from, and it is right around the world, countries I hadn't even heard of.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until meeting you that I actually realised that I was cutting off a section of people who maybe want to enjoy my videos, and not having talk on there or description makes it difficult for you. It gives you more work, Nicola, and means that, Chris, you can't enjoy video without having to get additional help. So
I think what I've said in the past, and I think it's a great idea, if you're not a great talker, or you don't want to talk and you want to speed your videos up and not talk and put some music in, that's fine. But let's say every sixth video, every now and then, just do a video especially for the visually impaired or whatever, just so
Well, Rob did that special audio described version, which was good.
And it was from meeting you back in 2018 that it was actually before that show, because I think I said at the time I'm going to do something for you. I didn't say at the time. I stopped doing videos for a while, but it did kind of it inspired me into thinking about I don't like calling it a vlog. I actually say this is not a vlog, and what I do isn't about that. So it's this kind of hidden video that you can find if you know where it is. I do a description of the video, but it's also a bit like a scrapbook as well. So actually realizing that I needed to talk was a fantastic thing, because it opened up these greater possibilities of actually explaining about some of the stuff that's going in my head and the creative side of it, and the process of getting somewhere, or the design thoughts which maybe don't come out in the video. And it's been, I think, really positive. I actually really enjoy doing them. So and hopefully for you, Chris, it works for you to then be able to experience the videos that I do, that you get a better insight into it.
No, it definitely works for me. But like I say, for the people, that are thinking, well, that's not my bag, talking on videos, that's fine. Don't think that, you have to change the way you work and what makes you happy, for what is, really a very small amount of people, the blind and visually impaired. So I'd just say, every now and then, if you sort of like bear us in mind and do a video with some narration every now and then, that's cool. But it's your channel, your rules, do what you love to do. That's really important. I wouldn't want to put anyone under duress and make them not be themselves.
No, I've never felt under duress from you, Chris.
Well, bloody hell, I must try hard.
No, but I think what I'm saying is it opened up potentially. We get restricted by what we know. Within life, you're quite narrow in maybe your views and stuff. And sometimes it's meeting people, or being in a situation or whatever, that actually opens up new possibilities. You think, all right, let's look at from, never really thought about, talking on the video, and there might be one or two people might like that, but actually in some ways the videos, sure, they're there to help you, but they're actually there for everyone else. And then it leads on to the actual main videos of taking soundscapes instead of just putting music on the top, which is basically what I'm going to do, or I did in the last video, I will carry on doing. So actually, and it goes into the realms of filmmaking. We watch any film, they've always got soundscapes that put on Foley sounds that enhance the visuals. It's starting to think and look around that side of things, where how can we make this even a better product or video or entertainment for the people who are watching it, actually by really thinking about the sound as well as the video, as the visuals, because we are very visual focused, but that's only part of communication. There's so much more. So it's been a great, for me, it's been a great process actually. So thank you. You've given me a lot.
So this is quite a good time to ask you, what has the maker community given you?
That's kind of interesting. It's kind of mixed up, isn't it? So I've been a maker for years, come to YouTube more recently, and introvert, working by myself, so you kind of feel like you're one person there doing it, and you're putting it up there. So I didn't really have much contact, and then Maker Central happened, and that's amazing actually. The community of makers who are out there, who all came together and met each other, and friendships made, and it's not necessarily on a daily way, but because you now know people and you can speak to them or get advice, and they're just out there. Instagram's a big thing. I didn't really know about Instagram or wasn't really engaged with it, but it's effectively where all makers are. Really enjoying that, and that's definitely where the feedback is. You can put things out and comment, and get feedback on what you're doing. So I wouldn't say the maker community feeds into me in a necessarily a creative way, except obviously I'm watching other people's outputs and trying to learn from what I like from what other people are doing. You know, occasionally you might pick up techniques and the likes. There's always new skills to learn. But can we talk about blind faith? I don't know if you were going to.
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah.
So, and then, this directs. I don't know. People are watching. If aware, but Chris put out the video asking for help and advice. To your channel was. I guess would it be fair to say kind of stalled, that you weren't getting?
Yeah. It's pretty much stalled, and again because I kind of live in a different world to everybody else.
Sure.
You find yourself sort of like scrambling for answers, which everyone else can see, and they're there in black and white, and because I struggle a lot of the time to get information quickly and efficiently. I was beginning to struggle to find some answers within myself. So, I was asking for, some help and advice, and I just ended up getting a bit emotional towards the end. And, I'm not a big crier by any means, but it's like, when I just had to put across that, the amount of time it takes a sighted person to do a video, and that's a long time, and people don't know how much time and effort goes into a video. Imagine what it's like for me. It's everything's really tripled in time. So what would take you a day to film, will probably take me 3 days, to do. And it was just frustration boiled over in a little bit of blubbing. But
it was fantastic. It touched me, and I'm sure it touched a lot of people. And I think we had to thank you for your honesty and your bravery of going out there and saying, look, I need some help. Can anyone give advice? And I kind of know where you are. I've struggled at times with you put out a video and you only get 100 views, and you think, I'll put all this effort in, and if you're putting this effort in, you do need some feedback, and the feedback's obviously by engagement from others. And YouTube's and social media is a very difficult place to be, because you're often governed by maybe just the algorithms of YouTube. It's not being spread out there, and it's trying to get people in. And I did feel for you, so I decided that could I do something? So I did this little video called Blind Faith, where I blindfolded myself and tried wood turning, which was an amazing experience itself. And the idea was just to make this tiny little video, shove it on Instagram, and hopefully raise some awareness. Some of it, I think, Chris, is you're so good at what you do. We come to your channel and watch you wood turning, and it's hard to, you forget that you're blind, because what you do is so you perfect it so well. And I think what I want to do was, show a sighted person making themselves blind. Actually, what you do is incredibly hard. You watch me really mess it up. Now go and watch the expert type thing. So it had some effect. And this is kind of getting around where sort of the power of the maker community is that I knew my reach on Instagram is tiny, and that only got 300 subscribers, people watching me, and of those to come to you, probably only been a handful. And having been at Maker Central the previous year, you meet all these people, and so I banged off a few emails to people who I thought might have a greater reach, and without exception, everyone said, "Yeah, no, that's brilliant. Yeah, we're definitely going to do stuff." And I think you probably had quite an uplift. After that, it really wasn't me. I kind of feel like I was just that cog, and but that was the power of Maker Central, really. And that I'd met Jimmy Duresta, and I could bang off an email to him, and by the next morning he was vlogging about you guys. But it was genuine. I had some lovely emails back and forth with him, and saying he'd met you, thought you're fantastic. Yeah, no, sure, let's shove some people your way. And I know from what you said that it worked. And
yeah,
you know, I'm totally grateful to the maker community that they're out there and they're looking out for each other. You know, if someone calls for some help, that they're there to help, and that's pretty amazing, really.
Well, I think, you know, we're totally grateful to you for what you've done, because, you know, you emailed all those guys and it did impact Chris's subscriber numbers. But you've also been emailing me with so many ideas of things that we can do. And, you know, it's that input is invaluable. It's really difficult trying to do something on your own in isolation. And I'm not a big YouTube expert. It's never been something that I've done really until, you know, Chris had his channel. So there's so much that I still don't know and I'm still learning. But yeah, that support was just unbelievable, and we can't thank you enough.
Yeah.
Well,
And
you
yeah,
know,
just before you start, you know, it's yeah, there you go. Yeah, just wait a minute, Rob. Just calm down. Just yeah, you know, talking about the community. You know, there are lots and lots of people out there that sort of like support me and go that extra yard to try and bring me up to speed with everybody else. And you know, there's probably quite a few of them watching this video now and commenting, so you know who you all are. But yeah, like Rob says, we're all this amazing community. We all pull together, you know, even the super famous, highly successful YouTubers like Jimmy DeResta, you know, out there, they're willing to you know, say yeah. And Jimmy DeResta said to me, he says, Chris, you know, please don't get upset about it. You know, we're all here for each other, and you know, we help where we can. So yeah, you're great. It's a great community, and everybody, by and large, you know, would do anything to help someone that really needed it.
I think there's a generosity of spirit that you get with the people in the maker community, and I think you know, without exception, you see that with all the things that people do and say, and you know, the emails that we get, the comments, you know, it's the whole package really of all the support that we get.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah,
but yeah, we're all there doing it, you know, the same as everyone else, aren't we? You know, it doesn't matter if you're a maker and you've got a YouTube channel, or if you're a maker and you're making your shed at home. You know, we're all doing the same. We're all just people, and we've all got the same interests. So you know, why would we not help each other? So,
yeah.
I think what I was aware of was, you know, I know I sent you quite a long email, sort of my thoughts of maybe things you could try to you know, get things, you know, moving a bit better. But I was just aware that was only my view, you know, one opinion out of lots. And actually, I think my desire was that I could get you lots of people coming to you to give you lots of ideas and different ideas, and then you start getting a feel for, you know, 50 people start saying the same thing. That's probably the thing to change or try. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I hope that's happened. I know, having looked at your videos, you know, there has been a lot of, particularly after that video you put out, you know, there was a lot of support and love there, and people giving suggestions. And,
it was amazing.
Yeah, I've got you know, a notebook full of things that people have said, and you know, I'm just trying to implement as many as I can now.
Yeah, but you've got to do your things in your own way. And I think what's hugely successful from what I've seen on your channel is, you know, your live streaming, you know, this podcast, and also the live streaming that you do with the turning, because that kind of like the demonstrations that you do, and you know, that real interaction between the two of you, and also you know, the people live chatting. And I think that, you know, I haven't really seen that anywhere else, and to me that works really well, actually.
Yeah.
No, we're definitely enjoying it, and we're. Nicola said it's the year of go big or go home, so I can't let the wife down. So
so tell us what you love to make.
But there's nothing specific. I love to make everything, as long as it's creating and making. Yeah, it goes back to that whole thing. It can be any material or anything. So, I play a little bit of the guitar. I wouldn't say that I'm a musician, but I've been playing a few years now, and to me that's exactly the same process as any other making. You're just taking a material, being its sound, and you're having to learn a tool and put it together. So I don't keep it specific to anything. So I actually think I've shorter attention span maybe, in that I get bored quite quickly, so I like to flit around a lot from one thing to another, and I'll be working on quite different things. Sure, timber is my speciality. That's what I trained in, and that's what I'm best at. But I actually loving working with metal. It's a new material for me, one that I avoided for many years, but I learned to weld a couple of years ago. I know you've started to weld now, haven't you, Chris?
Yeah, and I really want to do some more stuff this year with welding involved. So I'll definitely be firing up the old MIG this year.
And it's amazing, suddenly I'm not a great welder, but suddenly you can stick metal together, and then that opens up a whole load of more possibilities. And maybe combining wood and timber, and timber and metal together in projects where before you couldn't. So just by having a little bit of skill, or someone showing you, or going on a course, and you can pick up a whole new materials. But as you see, I make rucksacks and clothing, and it really doesn't matter to me at all. So normally my favorite thing is what I'm doing at the moment. And that becomes the next new thing, or so I've got what am I making at the moment? I'm making a rusty metal legged and maple stool at the moment. So that's
all right. Wow.
My latest project. Then I've got a box I'm going to be making. I want to get back into electronics a bit more. I've got so many designs and pieces of paper. I haven't got enough time to make them, and that's the biggest problem, is finding the time for actually physically making these things, and a lot of them fall by the wayside. But I have one. I'm going to let you into the secret. I'm sure no one else is listening, but I have got one special.
Have you not seen all these people on the chat?
Well, there's an interesting thing. You guys probably realise, and if anyone out there who subscribes, they notice I dropped out of YouTube for pretty much a year, and I've just come back to it. And I decided coming back that I'll kind of come back to it in my own way, and I'm in a little way I'm trying to subvert YouTube. I've turned off my subscriber count. I'll be turning off the likes and dislikes, and trying to get away from that whole thing of chasing numbers all the time. And as you're aware, I now have my non-vlog, my spoken to camera bit as a hidden video embedded in my video. But I have a project which I'm really excited about, which is then going to be hidden within the hidden video. So you start getting these nested videos. So if you're in the know, you know where to find it. And I'm really, really excited about it, because it's actually a type of project. It's nearly it's not conceptual in that it will be a thing, but it takes into engineering and making and visuals, and that will be popping up. I'll be putting up sometime. Did you saw the little Instagram video I did of the flip book for the stickers?
Yeah.
I'll be putting that up onto YouTube, so it very vaguely relates to that. So there'll be this kind of embedded series then from the videos going on, which effectively from the birth of the idea through. So if people are really interested in it or get engaged, they know where to find this little hidden project.
That's Cool. Yeah.
We'll take a number of months to make, and then we'll be released as a project video.
Yeah.
But my hope is that some people find it and actually like what's going on.
Yeah.
And then you start getting some of the feedback back and forth and comments, and people can input and give ideas, and maybe an engagement in that way. And it'll be very small numbers, but I'm cool.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah. So so that's going to be interesting. So yeah, I'm definitely playing around with what we can do with YouTube, and just trying to find the not to be necessarily different, but definitely ways that other people aren't going about it. I think there's ways to look at it, and maybe in the way that films, editing and filming of the videos, to maybe bring in elements which other makers aren't doing, and because it kind of interests me, really. Yeah.
It's like having Easter eggs, isn't it?
Yeah, in video games. Yeah, I was just thinking that. Yeah.
Well, no, it'd be exactly that sort of thing. Hit the right block, and it gives you access to somewhere else.
Mm.
When you're in the know, you're part of a private club, and you'll come and find it and watch it again. So actually, I think, well, my hope is that you'll end up with a few people who are really into what you're doing, who are actually in some ways more valuable than getting lots of people suddenly subscribing or watching lots of views for something that maybe they watch for 10 seconds and flick onto something else.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll work, and in some ways it doesn't matter. It's more that process of engagement.
Yeah.
And it comes back to the whole creativity. To me, that's the creative side, and maybe engaging with this platform.
It's a bit like how they used to write books. Things like Sherlock Holmes was serialized, and I think Charles Dickens did the same. Each week or each fortnight, you get the next installment. And
I hadn't thought of it in that way, but I suppose you're building up the story as you go on.
Yeah.
Some of it also is this project for me is kind of out of what I would normally do or think about doing, and I think in some ways by starting the process and putting it out there, and one or two people might be interested, you feel it might get momentum, because as I said earlier, it's very easy. You get ideas and excited about them, but they get lost because you don't find the time, or they get another idea comes along and crowds it out and gets moved by. But I thought by doing this, it might move me into actually exploring and being creative in a way that maybe I haven't been in the past. It's definitely going more down the art direction. I think there will be more of that sort of content.
That sounds really cool. So our last question is, tell us something that the maker community doesn't know about you.
Well, there's probably lots of things it doesn't know about. I don't really tell people much at all, but it's trying to keep something relevant, isn't it? There's lots of things in the past. I used to be a mountaineer and climber. I've been to the Arctic and and stuff like that. But in some ways, I was thinking about it today, and that was kind of like 25 years ago. So it feels like it's another life. But something that I am, which I'm not sure anyone knows, but do you guys know of the website Instructables? Have you heard of one?
No.
It's pretty big. You should look it up. It's a how-to website. So you go on there. It's by far the best thing. If you want to know how to make anything, I first found it when I started to learn some electronics, and Instructables comes up.
Yeah.
It's an amazing site, and I've written a lot of Instructables to effectively initially just push people towards my YouTube videos, but it then became a thing in itself, and it's a great place to learn how to present your work in a step-by-step way. But it's a brilliant place to go if you want to know anything, from cooking to electronics to woodwork, metalwork, and everything. But I'm a judge for Instructables, because they have these competitions where you put your Instructable and then you can enter quite cool competitions. There's really nice prizes. I've been in quite a few. So you get, just by getting a finalist, you get a T-shirt with the Instructables robe on. Or, the speakers I have on my PC, I won from one for electronic projects, and I've won quite a bit. So they have a lot of online judges. I'm a judge on Instructables.
Well, that's pretty cool. You
That
heard,
is,
you,
yeah.
you heard it. Oh no, my brain
being beaten by people.
You heard it here first, folks. Prickly Sauce is a judge for Instructables, so go and check it out. That sounds really cool. I'm going to listen to that.
Yeah,
No, I've not heard of that before.
It's a good site. Yeah, every maker should be there.
Yeah,
a lot of the makers at Maker Central on Instructables.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of them are saying that they've come across Instructables in the chat.
Yeah, cool.
So, well, that's brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us for our Maker Monday segment. It's been really fascinating talking to you, and I think I'm going to have to ask you later about going to the Arctic because that's of interest to me. I'm well into Shackleton and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, it's been awesome, and like we say, stick around, Rob. It's been really insightful. Excuse the the blind joke, but sat there listening to you answer the questions and getting to know you a little bit better. It's been really, really cool. So yeah, stick around, and as we're talking about what's been going on in our lives, I think you're going to get a couple more mentions anyway as to what's just happened over the past weekend and stuff. So yeah, huge thanks, Rob, and yeah, please feel free to chip in.
Yeah,
as and when.
Hanging out with you guys, so it's an absolute pleasure for me.
No, thank you so very much for agreeing to be our guest and
our second guest.
Yeah, our second guest. Yeah.
So let me just see who's on the chat. Wagger said, good chat. Dave the Wood Barber, great chat, Rob. Wagger says, time for a gin, Chris. Let's just see.
I know.
A couple of comments about Instructables. Andy Pugh, I sometimes struggle with the idea of maker family. You don't get to choose families, which if they are dysfunctional is a problem. Saison, Christine Hesseltine, Mike Atkinson, Blue Light Turner. The makers community is like a massive extended family.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody, by the way.
Yeah. Leona was on, but she's had to go because I think she had to put her child to bed. So yeah, thank you very much for being here, everybody. So if you've anything you want to add, just stick it in the comments, and I'll try and keep up with messages. So what have we been doing this week?
Well, flipping heck, what a week. What a week. How far are we going back to?
Well, the first thing was we interviewed
Matthew. Yes. What day was that?
Tuesday.
So yeah, we'll go chronologically, shall we? That's a good way of of working things out as we discussed. Yeah, so on Tuesday, you've heard me mention that Lancaster University had been in touch and, were massively inspired by my story and they wanted to help. And it was somebody we know called Dominic, who's a graduate of Lancaster Uni, who's been helping in various different ways. And he said, he would have a chat with some of his friends at Lancaster. And I got a call from Lucy from Lancaster Uni, who sort of like heads up the internship program. Steady on. And then she sent us some CVs.
Yeah.
And we interviewed a very, very, very fine young gentleman from Hong Kong.
Yeah.
So he's
John Wick.
Yeah, he's a very big John Wick fan. And Nicola said he had a very nice suit on.
Yeah, very natty suit.
Very natty suit. You said he sort of like had shoulder length hair.
Yeah, his hair was sort of like John Wick, sort of straight down. Yeah, he's definitely modelling himself on John Wick.
Yeah, he's obviously in his early 20s. He's from Hong Kong. He's been over here for a couple of years now studying. film and media and film production. So we interviewed him, got on really, really well, showed him the workshop, and we offered him the position. So that was really, really cool. It takes him about 45, 50 minutes to get here from train on the train from Lancaster. And the following day, Lucy from Lancaster, she, had a follow-up call with me, just asking how it went. I said it went amazing. I've offered him the job. I didn't know if I had to check with her first. I just jumped straight in and said, "No, he'll do for me." What a great lad, and he's totally up for it. So he's Matthew Ze.
Yeah, TSE.
TSE. So it's Matthew and then Ze. So he starts on the 19th of June, folks. So yeah. I've initially got him for 140 hours. So I've already said, well, us blindos love routine, and once we get settled in a routine, we're quite loath to part with something. So I said, is there any chance of keeping him for another 140 hours if we get on? And she said, well, it has been done before. Generally, we like to offer the next 140 hours to someone else. She says, but I completely get it with you being blind, and you'll get to know him, he'll get to know you, how he works, and so hopefully we can keep hold of Matthew for a bit longer. So yeah, 19th of June he starts, and he's having a bit of time off August, September to go back to Hong Kong to visit his mum and dad. Great lad. So that went really well. So I've got an intern. So he'll be filming videos. Yeah, happy days.
Yeah, that'll be good.
So that was Tuesday, and then on Wednesday
we went to St Vincent's School for the
blind.
Yeah, blind and visually impaired
in Liverpool. So
we had school dinner, didn't we?
We did have a school dinner. What did we have? Fish cakes, mashed potato,
veg, and,
some veg,
peas and sweet corn.
Yeah, something like that. It was a very nice dinner. So we're in the dining room with all the kids, flipping heck. Some memories came flooding back then, not all of them good ones. So, the school principal, Dr. John Patterson, who's a PhD, not a medical doctor, he'd been in touch and asked if we could go down and talk to the kids and maybe do a demo. So we went with all the lathe and all the kit in the car, and we didn't want to do a demo inside because it was a lovely room and carpeted. So we did it outside on the pavement and got set up and had a great day there. I turned a goblet and the kids were coming and listening, and I was again talking to them, explaining what was going on, and they'd come over and have a feel when I'd stopped. And I think Dr. John would ultimately like me to teach wood turning there to the students, because it's a very progressive school.
They do parkour. We met the parkour guy.
Free running. They do free running. So very progressive school. And Wednesday is what's called Enrichment Day, where they had Morris, who's a retired electronic warfare officer out of the Royal Air Force. So he's teaching some of the kids electronics, and especially electronics that can be used to make their lives possibly a bit easier in the future. So there's some professionals that turn up, and there's a guy that writes poetry. He turns up. So there's doing poetry classes, and there's a big French vibe in the school, isn't there? And there's English and French signs all over the place, she said. So great school. So hopefully we'll be doing more.
And Tom came.
Yeah, and Tom Walker, the freelance journalist who did my story for Radio 4. He goes in and does a journalism and media class.
So they interviewed you as well?
Yeah, so they interviewed me. So that was really cool. So it was great to meet Tom again. So that was Wednesday. So much has been going on this past week. And then we got home Wednesday afternoon and we said, let's leave everything in the car because we're off tomorrow to Devon. So we went to Devon, didn't we?
Yeah, Thursday. Stayed over on the Thursday night, and then on the Friday we spent the day in Axminster at the HQ. Yeah,
Axminster HQ. So that was a really, really cool day.
Yeah.
We got there early on in the month. Well, not very early. It was
We
about
gate crashed a meeting, didn't we? We got there and
yeah, Tim, the family that own Axminster Tools and Machinery and have owned it since it started. The family name is Styles. So we gate crashed the skills centre where Colwyn and Craig and Jason teach, and we gate crashed that. And Tim Styles, who's the head of product development, was just talking to the craftsman there. So we got out of Dodge pretty quick after we'd interrupted that. We went and had a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Met up with Wayne Asher, who's the retail engagement manager.
Yeah.
Who sort of like chaperones us when we're down there.
He looks after us when we go down, and he's responsible for all the retail stores. So he sort of looks after those. I'm not entirely sure quite what the remit of his role is, but it's to do with all the stores. He's involved with tracking results and seeing what the impact of demos is and stuff like that.
Yes, so that was cool. We had lunch.
Yeah.
It was we had a meeting.
Yeah.
Which we'll keep stum for now.
Yeah, I can't really say much about that as yet.
Yeah, well, we had a meeting, and then we were given by we got to talk to Alan, who's Tim's brother.
Yeah.
Who's the managing director now of Axminster.
Yeah.
I had a quick word with Alan. He was getting off somewhere, wasn't he? He was finishing early, but quite a few of them finished early because it was Friday at this time. And then we had a full guided tour by Tim Styles of the whole premises.
And that was cool.
That was cool. And again, we promised we won't mention.
Yeah, it's obviously there's a lot of stuff is proprietary, but they've got leading edge technology there, and
it's a state of the art. I had no idea that the place was so big, and it's really just there was unit after unit, and they've got the engineering workshops. They've got, which is state of the art, investing heavily in technology. They have the warehousing, which is all smart system conveyors and barcoded stock control and tubs totes going along the conveyors and getting scanned, and if they need to stop automatically at a specific point, they were doing. So that was amazing, and that's on 3 floors.
Yeah,
the packaging department, the order picking, goods inwards, and then the actual warehouse. They have these amazing forklift trucks that run.
Yeah,
that sort of like the driver goes
rail. A line.
Guided lines and set in the concrete floor, so they don't crash into the racking. And these forklift trucks, the driver goes up with them because he's going up really high, so he can see exactly what he's picking. Amazing place, and it was
really cool. I love going behind the scenes. So whenever I've been to a client's premises and they've said, "Oh, do you want a tour?" Oh yeah, I'm on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really really cool, really just top notch, wasn't it? And I love seeing some of the things that they make, just the actual process, because obviously I'm not like an engineer or anything, but
we're talking to engineers there though, weren't we?
Yeah, but I just like seeing how something is made, and so that was really,
and we're talking to some time-served engineers that have been there for
24
years, Nigel. And then there was Nathan, who's an apprentice. So they have a great apprenticeship program there, training the next generation of engineers and technicians. So that was really cool. They concentrate very much so on family and helping their staff.
Yeah.
The whole philosophy of the Axminster group is, we look after our own, really.
Well, I think whenever I go and see a business, you can tell a lot about a business by the way the staff engage with you as a visitor. It speaks volumes, and you can usually tell how a business treats their staff just by how they talk to you when you go and visit. And I think everybody that came over, people were chatting to us. There was that guy who was reading the books later on. He came over and talked to us, and so many people just came and sat with us and had a drink.
Yeah,
and
but you
chat.
know why, don't you? Because
well, yeah, I know, but
yeah,
but a lot of people just would still ignore you. But yeah, they are really.
It's a great
really
setup.
friendly and
the
engaged.
Yeah, we sort of like walk through the offices again, where obviously they have a big online presence and they send stuff all around the world, you know.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, when we got there in the morning, Megan, who was at Maker Central, and she was helping. There's a thing called Brymark Tools, which is part of the Axminster group, and they are importers, wholesale importers for Proxon and Tormek. So when we was at Maker Central, obviously Nicola was taking me around in between demos, the stands. We got talking to the people at Tormek. So that was Clive from Brymark, Megan, who was staying at our hotel, part of the Axminster entourage, and Pontus, who's one of Tormek's representatives, so he's Swedish. And they were asking, you know, if I used Tormek, and I said, no, I've got Tormek jigs, but I had to get sort of like a cheaper version of a Tormek because I couldn't afford a Tormek. So you could tell in the voice that it was like, well, we're going to sort that out straight away. So when we was at Axminster on Friday morning, Megan came over and she said, we've got a little surprise for you. So she said, what? She said, well, what have you always wanted? And, you know, I said, what? She said, we've got a brand new Tormek T8 for you. And she said, it's here, you know, ready for you to take home with you today. Well, back, you know, put in your car. Can't believe it. So, yeah, they gave me a brand new Tormek T8, which is absolutely chuffing unbelievable. So thank you so very much, Axminster and Brymark Tools, Tormek and Pontus, Clive and Megan.
Yeah.
Absolutely unbelievable. So that blew my mind as well. So, yeah, great day. And then we had a couple of we were sort of like trying to eat fish because we're there right on the south coast.
We did have some. You had calamari, I had a bit of yours. We had massive cod and chips on the first night at
the Malt House.
The Malt House in Seaton. We stayed in Seaton. And that was just massive, wasn't it? And then on the second night we went to the ship.
Yeah, that was a nice meal.
Can't remember, what did I have? Chicken? I can't remember what I had now.
I had the calamari again.
Yeah, I had pate.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But that was a really nice meal. And we went, because we were near the sea, we went down to the sea, didn't we, on the Thursday night before we went beach. On the way to the restaurant. And Bamba didn't want to get his feet wet.
No. So we went very close down to the seafront, and we ended up all getting our feet wet. So I'm sludging around Seaton with soggy feet all night. It's funny. So and it's sort of like a very, very pebbly beach, and as you're walking along it, you're sinking into it, and
it was hilarious, wasn't it? And it sort of undulates as well, so it dips down and then it flattens out, dips down, and
trying to fight for traction, you know.
And then coming back, we were just as bad. Yeah, Bamba was kind of pulling you up.
Yeah, that was hilarious. So it actually he worked well. It's having a sledding dog, Mush pulling me back up the shale and the pebbles. So that was really funny.
Let me just read a few things out. Dave the Wood Barber says, will you be helping in a design for the visually impaired?
Can't tell you. Gotta kill you.
He says Axminster has customer service that's second to none. Wayne the Woodturner says he's dealt with Axminster for over 30 years, love them. And lots of people have said nice about the Tormek. Andy Seaton is lovely. We enjoyed it, and the Premier in there is really nice.
It's quite a new one. It's lovely, isn't it?
2 years old. Dave the Wood Barber, do you have any idea if you'll be doing a demo at Newcastle?
Yes, we are.
as Wayne the Woodturner says, I think it is September. Without looking, I'm not sure what date it is, but if you go on our website or the Axminster website, the date will be on there. He says, I will dig my hole now then, Chris. Right, yeah, because you'd have to kill him. Yeah, I get it. Sorry, we're not killing anybody, but
speak for yourself. Like Sheldon says, you've made the list. Nobody's on my list. I love everybody. I think that's one of my nicest features. I always give everybody the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Be nice to everyone.
Well, it's much nicer.
It's much nicer to be nice. Nice things happen when you're nice.
So what did you on Saturday then?
Oh, well, Saturday, it was one of those sort of like wood turning demo things again, weren't it? Yeah, Saturday was demo day, so we got there in plenty of time to set up and get acclimatized and get in the zone and sighten yourself up and start the mental processes of, you know, beginning to work through the project in my head and having a couple of cups of tea. And yeah, that was cool. Some guy
called Prickly Sauce
came. Prickly Sauce came. Some other subscribers, Dave Corden, who's a partially sighted ex-police motorcyclist. So it was cool to meet up with him. And a couple we met at Biggin Hall Hotel, Country Hotel, at Christmas. They came. It was a great demo, and all in the morning, because obviously, you know, people get up and come out and they're really inspired and fired up. Oh, we've done the sort of like Facebook Live video for Axminster as well, haven't we?
Yeah, we did Facebook
just saying, you know, we're here and come and hang out with us today. So we did that with Wayne Asher. So yeah, the crowd was really great, and it was
good banter, wasn't it?
It was good banter, and I think Axminster said that, you know, that people had you know, been buying quite a few bits, including you, Rob. Yeah,
expensive day.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah. So yeah, Rob. Actually, and Rob brought me this huge. It's pear. It's still green, but it's this huge pear stump, and it feels a bit burly. In more ways than one, it's got a fair bit of weight in it, but it has got some of that burl element. Just having a quick feel of it. So yeah, thanks for that, Rob. That'll be the single most biggest lump I'll have ever turned when I actually get it onto the lathe. So that was awesome. No, a great demo. In the morning, I did some turning and the power carving and texturing and airbrushing and embellishing. And we've left that there with Axminster to just put on display in their stuff, because they provided the blanks. So
yeah.
That was cool. Then we broke for lunch and had a chat, and some Axminster staff members came and hung out and had photographs with me. And then the second part of the demo in the afternoon was a goblet, because after doing one on Wednesday, I thought, oh yeah, I'm going to do another one. And the goblet, it did end up being an absolutely cracking goblet, you know, medieval style, with a nice bead on the stem, and not as good as yours though, Dave, eh? So it was a lovely goblet, and there was a guy in the audience who's not been turning long, and he's been doing some goblets but struggling with them. So I gave him the goblet, you know, for him to go away and, you know, replicate and measure and try and copy it. So it was an absolutely cracking day. Really did enjoy it. I enjoy all my demos because we were discussing before, you know, that interaction and talking about stuff and describing stuff and, you know, engaging and being silly. It was cool. Really was cool.
Well, I think everybody they were asking you lots of questions, and I think that's for me, that makes a really good demo, because you've got that to and fro and that engagement. And also they couldn't get the camera to work, so it was very difficult for people to actually see inside the bowl. So people were stood on the left hand side so that they could see that side of the lathe. And there was one lady there who was she made copious notes all day about everything you were doing and what you were using.
She was interesting because she'd previously been a professional woodturner, this lady, and she'd not done any for years and years. And she found out about my demo, and she came and she was taking notes. And, you know, obviously technology has moved on lots since she was last working at a lathe. So she was taking lots and lots of notes, asking great questions. She was so inspired. She said, "That's it, you know, I haven't come and seen you. You know, I can't wait now to get making things." And it sounds like she's already got a couple of commissions booked.
Right.
So that was awesome. So yeah, after quite a long time away from the lathe.
I think she said she'd not been very well.
Yeah. So yeah, it was cool, really cool. So there was a great mix of people there, you know, young, and I heard a couple of youngsters in the seats with, you know, parents, and yeah, people from all walks of life there and all ages. So it was really, really amazing.
Yeah, it was. Blue Light Turner's had to go. He's been demoing over the weekend and camping, so he says he needs a nice bubble bath. And Wayne Bigfoot Woodcraft said use Yorkshire grit to scrub your back. Dave the Wood Barber says microfine for his head. See, that's Glyn should diversify.
Yeah, into
bath products.
Grooming products for the discerning male maker. Everyone will be going out with shiny heads.
So, anybody got anything they'd like to add? Anything I've not covered because I've missed it? Any questions for Rob? Do feel free.
We know he's still there. We can
hear him laughing.
We can hear him laughing in the background.
Lots of hellos. Blue Light Turner said he'd been turning. He's just got in from 3 days demonstrating at Amberlin Museum. I think he's gone now for his bubble bath. Deborah Beardall, Steve, Harry, and Demi. I don't know if they're still on, but they were on. Mr. Maker, Master Maker.
Hi everybody. Even if you've gone, hello.
Yes, Sai. Did I say Sai?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hi, Sai. You said before about Sai.
Christine Hesseltine. Think hopefully I've not missed anybody. Joe's Bow Boutique. So when is Rob putting out his next video?
That's a question, isn't it? I don't think you got video on me now, have you?
No, you just
it's going to be more sporadic than it was in the past. I don't know. It's probably going to be a month, I would have thought. Maybe. But I'm kind of expecting maybe only to do half a dozen videos each year now. It might be a bit more, but then you've got to remember there's going to be 3 videos for every video with the hidden ones. So there's quite a bit more work in that. But yeah, I haven't yet decided what the next video is going to be. But also the other thing I'm doing is little videos on Instagram as well, so it's worth checking out there. And I'm doing these micro videos purely for Instagram as well. So
where are you putting them on? Are you putting them on your stories, or are you using IGTV?
No, just straight embedded in Instagram.
Right.
Yeah, as I have done, as I did for the Blind Faith video.
Yeah.
I haven't really got into stories, but
stories are great.
Yeah, maybe it's just a different format. So the videos I'm putting on Instagram are taking the same like filmic qualities that I try and get on my YouTube.
Yeah.
And put them onto Instagram. But the great thing is they can only be a minute long. And that's a real challenge to try and tell a story in a minute. But it suits some projects which maybe aren't good enough to put on a longer format like YouTube. So yeah, just playing around with it all. But yeah, it's going to be about a month before I probably get the next one out.
I need to sit down and edit some of the video I made at Makers Central, because I went round in the morning before everybody got there and just sort of made a bit of behind the scenes video. But I really want to edit it because I got a bit of Jimmy DeResta and a few other people, and I just want to kind of preserve it and put it out there. So I'm thinking of doing that on IGTV, which is on Instagram. So once I've got it edited, I'll get that put up.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll look out for that.
Yeah, don't hold your breath because it's going to take me probably most of this week.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something
awesome.
I want to do.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I remember what else we did. We went to Lime Bay Winery.
Oh yes,
yes. So Christmas just gone. I got from Mike Newman, the world's fastest blind man, and his wife Karen. I got a lovely sort of like 3-bottle selection of Lime Bay mead. So Nicola cunningly read the label and said, "Flipping it, they're from Axminster." So I went, right, when we're down there in the summer, we're going to check them out. And we did. So I got a couple of bottles of mead. I got a rhubarb mead, which is very nice. I've started having the odd swig of that. And I got a black cherry mead as well. And I had some of the black cherry at Christmas. Absolutely divine stuff. And I also got a bottle of sort of like
salted
caramel cream liqueur. Yeah. So obviously you can have a little sample of these in the winery before you buy.
So you did.
So I did. Yeah, I'd have just stayed there all day quaffing mead. Yeah. So it was amazing. And so that salted caramel liqueur, it's like Bailey's on steroids. Yeah, a lot stronger than Bailey's. It's got much more of that brandy kick to it. But they do all their own wines, ciders, ales. You got some non-alcoholic.
Yeah, I love apple juice. I remember going to Kent to visit a friend. This is going back years ago. And we went to a farm nearby and they did apple juice and it was just the best. So I got some of that.
And what else did you get?
Ginger something or other. So I don't know what that is. I think it's sparkling ginger something. So
like a really traditional organic.
Like ginger beer.
Like ginger beer.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
And Charlie's likes the odd little bit of mead, and obviously he's old enough to drink now and stuff. So we got Charlie a little bottle of traditional mead, and he even did one. Obviously they do the ginger meads and the fruit ones, but she said, "Oh, garden mead." So I said, "What's in that?" And she said, "Oh, it's got a bit of mint." So I was intrigued, and having spoke to Charlie, said, "Well, it's worth a try." So they do mail order, obviously, and ship stuff out, and I think it's about £6 the shipping cost. They said,
"Oh right,
something like that." So I think we might give that minty garden mead a try at Christmas. But yeah, we got Charlie a half bottle of traditional mead. So Charlie doesn't like the ginger one, and I wouldn't. No. I wouldn't get the ginger one because it'll give me chronic heartburn. The ginger. So yeah.
Leona says, "Are you actually supposed to have samples, or did you just stick your head under the tap?"
No. They graciously offered me some samples.
Yeah, they had sample glasses that they gave you just a bit in, didn't they?
Yeah. So yeah, you just have a tiny little glug.
T+G Making says, "So more visits down south required then."
Well, we have got a mead distillery
just up the road.
The road, 10 minutes away from us, really, in Bolton, and that's the Lancashire Mead Company, and it is cracking mead. It's the guy that founded it is a druid, and his meads are called things like Odin's blood and Viking's blood and vampire's blood. Really, really good quality mead, but you can obviously taste the difference between Lime Bay and Lancashire mead. And the first time I found out about Lancashire mead was the night shop at Conway Castle, where I got my Viking swords and axes and my Beowulf helm from. Toby, he said, "Oh, Chris," he said, "we get our mead from somewhere near you. Bolton. So I said, yeah, it's not far. So I found out, and you can go there again. You can try before you buy. So yeah, if you live up here, this neck of the woods, it's just in Horwich, really, near Rivington Barn.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you feel the need for mead. I
don't know if you can hear, but there's Bamba's underneath my desk.
He's snoring.
And he's now snoring. He likes being in these small spaces, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I think I can hear him.
Can you hear him?
Yeah.
Let's just be quiet for a second.
Not doing it so much now.
No. Funny.
So T plus G Makey says G gets his coat. The pub next to Lee's Brewery in Middleton used to sell their own created ales. That was interesting flavours. That's Dave the Wood Barber. Where does Dave live?
Oh, he's a Manc originally.
Are you somewhere near Middleton, Dave? So right. Is there anything else?
I think we're pretty much up to speed with what's been happening.
Yeah.
We're actually at home round and about for 2 weeks.
Yay.
And then it's the next one is Martin Saban-Smith's neck of the woods. Basingstoke. Axminster Tools and Machinery, Basingstoke. So yeah, that's the next one. So I've got some time over the next couple of weeks to do some wood turning for myself and maybe do some videos. It's Tuesday tomorrow night, so I'll be doing a YouTube live.
Yeah. What are you doing? Are you doing something or talking, turning and tea?
I'm going to do a talking, turning and tea.
Okay.
Yeah, please, I'll drop in if you're not doing
anything.
anything.
What time are you doing it? 7:30? The other thing to mention is I am compiling a list of people who have expressed an interest in coming on the podcast and doing Maker Monday. And next week it will be Wayne the Woodturner. So I've got a couple of other names on here and I'll be making contact to firm up days. But if anybody else is interested in joining us, please let us know and we'd love to have you on. And as we said before, if you make something, whatever you make, however long you've been doing it, you're very welcome to come on. And as you hear, the questions are very simple, and it's just talking about making and your love of making. So do let us know if you'd like to be on with us. Dave says he lives in Morpeth, Northumberland, but was born in North Manchester General and grew up in Blakely.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Martin was in Cardiff on Saturday. Yeah, we saw that. I think
he got in touch
that he was there.
Yeah,
that looked really good. So yeah,
he sort of like he texted me and said, best of luck with everything, and I texted him back and put thanks, you too, sort of thing. So yeah, has he finished now?
I'm not
Axminster
sure.
Road trip.
He finishes his road trip before we do.
Obviously, his it's like when you bring a new album out, you do a tour to accompany it.
Yeah.
Or when you bring out some New Hampshire Sheen, you do a demo to accompany it.
Yeah.
So obviously Martin's been doing his. But you spotted some Hampshire Sheen on the racks in the warehouse, didn't you? Hello, Chris to Nicola. We're talking to Nicola and I can just hear her giggling and I'm thinking she's not giggling at me because it's not that funny. Talking about Hampshire.
What did you say?
You spotted some Hampshire Sheen on the racks in the warehouse at Axminster headquarters.
Yeah.
I
was going around reading what was on some of the racks, mostly stuff that you've got. So I was like, oh, Arbitech, oh, Proxon,
Hampshire Sheen.
What was the other one? What's the one in the taller bottles that he does. Intrinsic.
Oh yeah,
intrinsic.
Yeah.
And so I was reading out all the stuff that you have. I like watching Dave the Woodturner. It's been great watching you tonight. I'm Billy No Mates this week in the caravan at Maplethorpe. Oh, well, thanks for joining us. That's
No
Deborah
mates.
Beardall. So, are we done?
I think that we're pretty much done. So, what time are we on now?
5 to 9.
5 to 9. That's pretty much par for the course, really, isn't it? We're doing about an hour and a half,
yeah.
which is cool, which is a great time. Hour and a half. We could sit and talk all night, of course. We could really go off on some weird stuff. Flipping heck. And, we're talking about things that go bump in the night, the possibility of life on other planets, all that sort of stuff. That real mind warping, brain expanding stuff I could sit up and talk about all night. But that isn't on this forum.
No.
Anyway, we shall keep it makerish.
So, thank you very much, Rob, for joining us tonight and for talking to us about making and everything that you do. And thank you again for everything that you've done for us as well. It's just been amazing.
You're the man. You're the man.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you for inviting me. It's been great hanging out with you guys this evening.
No, thank you so very much. I hope we've not kept you up too late. We know you're busy, but you like you say, you're off for a bit of time with the kids, aren't you, this midterm? So
yeah, got a few days down in Cornwall, so we'll get out surfing and the likes. Yeah, it'd be cool.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Did you mention you've got a different chair?
Well, right at the very beginning, yeah.
Can you see we're sort of?
I've got off my trainer chair now, and I'm onto an adult one. So, but that sounds just as bad when I say I'm on a high chair. That sounds. I can't get away from this, infantile.
Right.
It looks more balanced, put it that way.
All right, cool.
Jamie Page has just arrived, said, "Evening, Dan, I missed it."
Jamie.
Great show from Andy Pugh. Si, take care, everyone. Mike Atkinson, you guys rock.
You rock too, Mike Ye. So Mike Ye, is one of the family, really. Mike Ye has been supporting me from right from the get-go, really. A masterful woodturner. He's from Peoria in Illinois. He's a motorcyclist. He plays guitar. An amazing guy. One of the family, that's for sure. So yes, hi Mike. Hope you and your posse is doing well. He does great things. He does great charity work at Christmas time in the winter. Riding around with the gang on the bikes, going to the children's hospitals. Absolutely amazing bloke. So yeah, wonderful to hear from you again, bro. Yeah, I've got thousands of brothers and sisters. It's amazing.
Right then. Well, thank you all very much. You can catch the podcast again on YouTube and also as a podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, and wherever you listen to podcasts, you should pretty much find it. So that's it, really.
Yeah. Shall I say? Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Yeah. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, everybody. And keep on turning and keep on making.
Yeah. Thank you all very much.
Cheers, Rob. Thanks, everyone.
Catch you soon.
Bye.
Bye.